Why was salutary neglect important in GED colonial America? Have you ever wondered how the American colonies managed to thrive before the American Revolution? One key factor was a British policy known as salutary neglect. This informal approach lasted throughout the 1600s and 1700s. Essentially, Britain chose not to strictly enforce its laws in the colonies, particularly regarding trade. This hands-off strategy allowed the colonies to flourish in ways that would shape their future. Under salutary neglect, the colonies enjoyed a level of self-governance. Britain did not closely monitor trade or law enforcement as long as the colonies remained loyal and profitable. This freedom meant that colonists could trade with countries beyond Britain, which significantly boosted their economies. For example, tobacco and rice became major exports, enriching many colonial merchants and farmers. Moreover, the policy allowed local governments to develop with less interference from Britain. Colonial assemblies gained power and experience in managing their own affairs. This growing sense of independence was crucial for the colonies. They learned how to govern themselves, which laid the groundwork for future self-rule. The economic benefits of salutary neglect were clear. The colonies expanded their trade networks, leading to increased wealth. They could make their own laws and manage local issues without constant oversight from British authorities. This autonomy helped foster a sense of identity among colonists, who began to see themselves as separate from Britain. However, this period of relative freedom came to an end after the French and Indian War in 1763. Britain faced significant debt from the war and sought to tighten control over the colonies. They began enforcing laws and imposing taxes, which angered many colonists who had grown accustomed to their independence. This shift in policy contributed to rising tensions that ultimately led to the American Revolution. For anyone preparing for the General Educational Development Test, understanding salutary neglect is essential. It illustrates how the early American colonies developed their own governments and economic systems. It also explains why the colonies resisted British control later on, a key element of United States history. The impact of salutary neglect shaped the path toward independence and the formation of a new nation.